Hello everyone and welcome back into another video. Today we are finishing the trilogy of Stalker weapons with the Dread, and this is going to be probably the most anticipated weapon because it's the easiest to acquire, and yeah, pretty much everyone has it. This weapon starts as a normal bow, and when you acquire it, it is probably going to be one of the best weapons you have, especially if you are still very early into the game, because it has very solid stats and it can deal a lot of damage. And eventually you'll be able to grab the Incarnon adapter, which makes this weapon great against groups of enemies, so yeah, that's pretty cool. But that's enough introductions for now, so let's jump into the build. Starting from the Incarnon evolutions, the first one is what unlocks the actual Incarnon form. You have to hit weak spots to charge the Incarnon meters, and then press Alt Fire to transform the weapon into the Incarnon form. And after doing that, the weapon will start shooting these bigger projectiles that are kind of a horizontal wave that deals hit damage. Evolution 2 has two options. First one is 70 more base damage and 100% more damage to enemies below 50% HP. And the other one is 50 more base damage, and then if you are also using the Hate and Despair, you gain 10 more base damage and 10% fire rate that stacks up to 5 times and resets whenever you miss. I still suggest using Hitman's Opportunity because it's more consistent, and having 100% more damage on enemies below 50% HP is actually pretty good, especially against Acolytes. Evolution 3 has 3 choices. The one we are going to use is Projectile Speed. You can also go for less zoom or more ammo capacity, but these two aren't exactly that great, so I will still stick with Projectile Speed. And finally, Evolution 4 has also 3 options: 10% base crit chance and 10% base status chance, 24% more base status chance, or +1 critical damage multiplier, and this is what we are going to use today. Let's now have a look at the base stats. The normal fire mode has a charge time of 0.5 seconds, reload of 0.7, and the weapon has a Raven disposition of 4 out of 5, so Ravens are highly recommended because, as you can see, they are pretty good. Base crit chance is 50% with a critical multiplier of 3x, that's above average. Status chance is 20% and the weapon mostly deals slash damage. And since this is a bow, if you fully charge the shot, the weapon will deal more damage. The Incarnon form has a charge time of 0.6 seconds, doesn't have any reload, and can hold a maximum of 20 charges. Crit chance is still 50%, critical multiplier is 4x, and status chance goes up to 30%. And the weapon now mostly deals hit damage, followed by slash and impact at the same amount. And these are the mods we are going to use for this build. Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot and on kill even more multi-shot, Prime Shred for fire rate and a lot of punch through, Hunter Munition for a 30% chance to apply slash on critical hits, Vital Sense for more crit damage, Critical Delay for crit chance at the cost of some fire rate, Galvanized Scope for more crit chance on headshot, and on headshot kill even more crit chance, Rifle Elementalist for status damage and some more punch through, and finally the new Nightwave mod called Unseen Dread. This mod is very interesting, but it's also kind of hard to trigger in some situations, so it's not exactly reliable, but it does help. What this mod allows you to do is become invisible for 5 seconds after you hit at least 3 enemies with 1 shot, which is not that great, but it's kind of cool, and it does increase your survivability by a lot. And while you're invisible, you gain an additional 175% crit damage. This crit damage boost will also activate if you're invisible with your Warframe in any other way, for example by using Ivara, Loki or Octavia for example, that can become invisible. You will still be able to gain this 175% crit damage boost. Finally, in the Exio slot, I'm using Terminal Velocity for even more projectile speed. In the Arcane slot, I'm using Primary Merciless. This is for more damage on kill and also to gain 30% more reload speed. Reload speed also affects the Incarnon transformation animation, so it will take less time. And that's great because being in Incarnon form allows a higher chance to trigger Unseen Dread. That's pretty much the build. Let's now see it in action. So as always, we have here our 20 heavy gunners, corrupted heavy gunners, level 225 with steel path modifiers, and let's just start shooting them in the head. Of course, at the start, this weapon won't deal that much damage because we don't have any great amount of damage since Merciless is not fully stacked, but as you can see, it's enough to pretty much kill all of them just by, triggering the slash proc, and yeah, they are pretty much enough to just destroy all the enemies. But then we can transform the weapon into its Incarnon form, and yeah, it will start dealing a little bit more damage, and also apply heat that shapes some of the armor, which is also great. And of course, we can make this even better now that we have some stacks, and you'll see that this weapon is able to just destroy everything with a couple shots. Might take a few more, because we're not using any kind of buff right now, and this weapon really benefits from viral and armor ship, so of course we're going to also apply that later on. But yeah, it does deal a lot of damage, especially on headshots, and especially to enemies with below 50% HP, so that's pretty cool. Of course, if you do not hit 3 enemies in a row, the weapon won't make you invisible. So yeah, keep in mind that you have to at least hit 3 enemies, and then you'll be able to be invisible for 5 seconds. Sadly, there is no indicator right here that you're invisible, which is kind of sad. I wish there was like a timer, 5-second timer over here. But sadly there isn't. I hope they add it. But yeah, that's a very small inconvenience. Let's now add our Panzerwupperpfeiler that will spread viral through viral quills. These are the mods I'm using on my cat here, on my Wupperpfeiler, and these are the mods I have on its claws. It's nothing insane. I pretty much added all the mods that I thought were useful. You can of course change this to your preference, but I think this is pretty good. So let's now see it in action with some viral stacks on the enemies. And yeah, there we go, there's some viral on this guy. Of course, if he also gets armor shape, well, there's no chance for them to survive at all, even without any merciless stacks, because this weapon is just that cool. And now that we are hitting enemies that are armor shaped and with viral procs, well, yeah, you can see that this weapon is able to just destroy them in one shot, which is unbelievably cool. And of course, we can always become invisible by hitting those 3 enemies. And we are also stacking our good chance by killing them through headshots. So that's also very cool. And keeping it up, it's not that difficult. You're not gonna always encounter 20 heavy gunners in a mission, so you will randomly get some more normal enemies that you can just one-shot on a headshot. That's pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty much what happens. You just one-shot everything. Now, when it comes to survivability, it's a little bit tricky, and I'll show you. But basically, if you have a way to just stun the enemies and hit at least 3 of them once, yeah, you're pretty much safe. You shouldn't have any troubles anymore. Because after you activate the Incarnon form, it's very easy to just hit at least 3 enemies and well, you're now invisible, so they cannot hit you anymore. You are pretty much invincible as long as you keep your invisibility up. And usually you'll find at least 3 enemies in like survival missions or missions with high density. But yeah, sometimes it's not gonna be that easy, so try to have at least one plan B or something that can, you know, help you out with survivability, like for example rolling guard or some form of shield gating. Anything like that is really useful for surviving a little bit longer. And that's pretty much the Dread Incarnon. It's a very interesting weapon. It does also look kind of cool, like that arrow is really cool. I really hope that this weapon gets more love because it's a very cool weapon, it's a fan favorite, and everyone has access to it very early on. I'll now leave you guys to the showcase where I test the weapon in a 5-minute survival in Steel Path against some Grineer enemies, so you can see how the weapon performs in a more realistic scenario. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Have a great rest of the day, and bye-bye.
Systems sending isolated eyes, use the missing mind, attach to the catalysts to begin harvesting. Think I need to help you. I'm gonna try. Cute as hell, baby, hotter than flames. Wanna burn together in a million ways. Was craving, you love it, you hate it. Now let me
the morning.